Hey everybody, it's Chris here, back with another live stream on Deep Fried Crypto. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to do this live stream. It wasn't a planned one, jumping on quick because there was some big news today. And that big news was a Ethereum spot ETF was officially filed for by Blackrock. So I wanted to speak a little bit on that and a few other things that have been going on as well that I think are important and that you should know. So I'm going to dive into it here. First, I'm going to take a look at the charts, and then we'll speak a little bit about the ETF. All right. So looking at the charts here, things are down a little bit from where they were about 12 hours ago. So we had a nice rally back up to a little over 37,000, and then now we're pulling back. It's not really that big of a surprise after the rally. Do I think we're going much lower? Not necessarily. It's just my personal opinion. So not much to report there in terms of movements, and some of the stuff is pulling back. There are still a few that are looking decently green. We got Doge, we got AVAX. I'm going to speak on AVAX a little bit later, and a few other alts. Caspa is still doing extremely well. It's up 15%. It's had quite the rally recently. I believe it's run up probably 150% in this last little run. So we'll keep an eye on things over the next day or so, and then I'll pop back in and take a look either tomorrow or sometime over the weekend. So getting away from that, the main thing that I really wanted to speak about is this Blackrock ETF filing here. So as you can see, BlackRock filed the S1 prospectus for its spot Ethereum ETF with the SEC. So there was some speculation about this earlier in the week, and now we have the official proof of the filing. So the filing, among other things, appoints Coinbase as the custodian for the underlying ETH, which I have a feeling most of these ETFs, as they get approved, especially the Bitcoin ones, but also Ethereum ETFs, Coinbase is going to be the custodian for the majority of it, just because of their dominance in the US. And I'd say compared to the other exchanges, I mean, FTX has gone by the wayside now, and Binance is having serious issues in the States. Apart from maybe Gemini or something like that, Coinbase is the right choice. So I think the majority of them are going to be using Coinbase. But the main reason I wanted to bring this up is that with BlackRock filing for a spot ETF, this means that once this gets approved and BlackRock starts buying into the market to buy the ETH that it needs to back this actual ETF, ETH compared to Bitcoin already has a supply crunch, a burn, a lot more interest, a lot of things that are already constraining the supply and increasing the demand. And now with spot coming into play from BlackRock and likely other institutions as well. I mean, BlackRock's not going to be the only player in town. There's going to be a lot more ETH moving off the market in a market for ETH where there was already less and less ETH available, and a lot of people are going to be either holding on to their ETH or staking it and locking it up for a yield. So that being said, it's going to be more and more expensive to buy ETH as things get squeezed, quote unquote. Obviously, the same thing is going to be the case with Bitcoin, but especially for Ethereum, I think less people are going to be willing to part with their ETH. Gas fees are going to get rather high, in my opinion, at the peak of the frenzy of this cycle when it comes to ETH. And yeah, in terms of holding ETH, you kind of have a window before they start piling into this now that they filed this. So if you're looking to have ETH in your portfolio, it's probably a good time to work on getting to the level that you would like to have in terms of amount, or at least dollar cost averaging in, or ensuring that you're holding on to what you already have. And when you are cashing out of other assets, perhaps you want to be stacking in ETH rather than Bitcoin as the bull run goes, keeping this in mind. So moving along. So there, after the announcement, ETH open interest rose 20% to hit $7.8 billion. The interest noted on November 10th, which is when the first bit of hype took place last week, before there was even official filing, that was already at 7.75 billion and was the second highest for the year. So now with this filing happening, and the actual paperwork coming out earlier today, in my opinion, this interest is going to continue to increase, and a lot more institutions are going to be looking for inflows. Is 3,000 the next target, it says here. So in my last live stream, I already said I feel that ETH is likely going to continue to rally upwards from here. There might be some pullbacks, but overall the market is looking quite bullish despite the little bit of red that we saw when we started this live stream. I think things are going to continue to move strongly in a bullish manner, especially over coming days and weeks. And I do believe 3,000 is not a stretch in terms of a target for Ethereum in the near term. In the long term, this cycle, obviously, with all of this interest and the ETF coming into play and whatnot, I think anything below 10,000 would be shocking, in my opinion. I could be wrong. It's not financial advice, but that's just my personal opinion. So, yeah, 3,000 next. I still feel that target sticks. And once we see how the market moves tonight and into tomorrow and then over the weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw ETH continue to rally going into next week. On some ETF news, so the SEC also extended the ETF review window for the Bitcoin ETFs, and now we are looking at almost certainly a January approval for everything. So they filed on November 15th for an extension. They didn't approve anything yet. That being said, a few of the submissions did get resubmitted with adjustments over the last 24 hours. I saw some of that pop up on Twitter. So there are adjustments being made. So I do feel very strongly that come the first 2 weeks of January, shy of any surprise, I do think that's when we'll see likely all of the Bitcoin spot ETFs get approved all in one shot. And then this ETH ETF, I don't believe there's a specific date set for it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was around the same time or not long after. Moving along. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I thought it was worth noting on the live stream. So Vivek, one of the U.S. presidential candidates, he outlined a pro-crypto policy vision. Along with him, RFK Jr. is also very pro-Bitcoin. Overall, I think because it's pretty clear that there needs to be additional frameworks put in place in the States, I'll say. It's pretty clear to anyone coming into the next election and whoever gets elected that they're going to have to work in terms of regulation and frameworks for crypto. And a lot of them are going the pro-crypto route, albeit from personal beliefs or just because they believe it'll help them at the polls. But overall, things are looking to be quite crypto friendly, so to speak, with this election cycle. Tether revealed a Bitcoin mining expansion as well. So they're putting a $500 million investment. For those of you that don't know Tether, Tether is the firm behind USDT stablecoin. So these farms are going in Uruguay, Paraguay, and El Salvador. Of course, they chose El Salvador. Just whether it's in terms of cheap electricity or because they're so pro Bitcoin now, or both. But it's nice to see a stablecoin company investing in Bitcoin mining. It's not too often that you see that, so makes me curious a little bit, just because it is a stablecoin company, whether this is a hedge or if something down the line is going to involve them further differentiating their treasury with some of that being made of Bitcoin, or they're looking to back something with Bitcoin. I'm not too sure whether this is pure strategy or if this is part of something bigger that we'll see in the coming year or two during the bull market. So I figured that was worth bringing to your attention as well. Moving on, now I'm going to speak on Avalanche here. So Avalanche had quite the run over the last few days. It's up over 60%, or at least before this little bit of a pullback. And a lot of that had to do with JP Morgan. And they are, so JP Morgan's Onyx is for moving around assets on a subnet. They have tested previously with Polygon, and they're also working with Axelar, Oasis Pro, Provenance, and now Avalanche as well. So a lot of the surge in that was people got wind of this. To sum it up, I have this here. So basically, they want to move about $5 to $10 billion worth of treasuries and bonds, assets, whatever the instruments are per day on this JP Morgan controlled Onyx. And they're creating it to be cross-chain as well. So it's interesting that they are testing out various different protocols and not just sticking with one. So now they're testing Avalanche. Most companies have been building on Polygon for their consumer-facing and their testing. Layer 2 on Ethereum. Avalanche is actually a separate blockchain, albeit it still is an EVM. So yeah, I just wanted to bring this up for the people that had seen Avalanche run, and because of this, I think there's going to be more interest in Avalanche moving forward. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a continued increase in buying pressure for people buying into Avalanche. Is it JP Morgan? Not necessarily, but as more of this takes place, there's going to be more talk about Avalanche, more projects are going to build on Avalanche, and overall the ecosystem is going to flourish. So it might be time to start considering adding some Avalanche to your portfolio. It is, I would say it's somewhat like a little sibling to Solana with a little bit of Ethereum mixed in. So when Ethereum and Solana really start ripping later in the bull run, I would not be surprised if we see some exorbitant outsized gains in spurts coming out of Avalanche as well. And I think it'll kind of follow suit. So moving along. So something else worth noting. So FLOKI, for those of you that are familiar with the token, it was around last bull cycle. And its sister token, TokenFi, they just announced they formed a strategic marketing partnership with India's leading cricket teams. So they're going to be targeting over 700 million people. So I would not be surprised if FLOKI is one of the I'll say top 10, top 15 meme coins. I don't even know if FLOKI is technically a meme coin, but I see it as a meme coin of this cycle. If they're targeting over 700 million people with this marketing partnership, in the Indian market, there's going to be a lot of onboarding of retail money and people that are going to buy into this as well. And FLOKI already had a decently sized market cap, so as they continue to build out the utility and things more of FLOKI instead of it just being a coin, quote unquote, I think this is a step in the right direction. And for those of you that are meme coin holders, just be aware of this with FLOKI. You might want to add some to your bags before the price really starts to pump. Binance announced that they're going to launch a new exchange. They partnered with Singapore's second richest man and a Thai energy giant. So they're going to be launching a crypto exchange in Thailand for Bitcoin and altcoins as well. I'm not sure if it's going to have leverage trading, but I would assume that it most likely does. It says it's an invitation-only exchange called Binance Thai. So looks like they're going to be moving into the Thai market to build some extra market share there as well. Staying on a Binance kick, so Pancakeswap, which is like the Uniswap of BNB. So they launched a blockchain gaming platform, and they just announced this. So it's going to be using cake tokens, and it's a gaming marketplace. So it has 2 games inspired by the exchange's branding, and it has broader ambitions to work with external developers and create games within its ecosystem. So for those of you that are investing in gaming coins, this is something that you probably want to keep your eye on. And if you can get in early on some of these gaming plays on Pancakeswap's marketplace, and I'm guessing probably Binance's launchpad as some of these coins go online as well, I think you can do quite well. Ubisoft, staying on a gaming kick. So Ubisoft, the game developer, they also announced they're going to be giving away free Ethereum NFTs for their Champion Tactics game. So it's upcoming game on Oasis. So for those of you that like free NFTs, go check out the Champions Tactics game and grab yourself one of these NFTs. And that being said, just to round things off, I'm not going to go too long on this stream today. The main thing is I just wanted to bring to people's attention, of course, this Ethereum spot ETF. But on a gaming note, I had a discussion with a colleague of mine yesterday and someone else earlier in the week about different gaming coins, and was digging into some a little bit. So I have some that I've been looking at. If you'd like me to make a separate video, whether it's a live stream or just a standalone video on some gaming tokens across various ecosystems that I think have a high likelihood of having outsized returns, and that have a decently low entry point right now compared to their all-time highs, or just a good entry point in general. If you want me to make that video, I'm happy to do it. Just let me know down in the comments or the chat, and I'll put that together if there's enough interest over the next couple days, and put that up for you as well. I've been looking at, I think it was about 10 or 12, so I don't know if I'm going to talk about all of those if you guys do want that video, but I might mention like 6 or 8 of them or something like that. So yeah, let me know. Round things out, I'm just going to pop back and take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. So on the 5-minute, things are starting to move back up. Looks like we touched 35.6, now at 36.2, so we're rebounding. It's looking pretty healthy. We'll see if we can get through this, and if we can, then think we're gonna start moving back up towards about the 37,100 mark, something like that, before the next resistance comes up there. So yeah, that's it for now. I just wanted to make this quick to speak on the ETF a little bit. I felt it was important, so I appreciate you guys joining me. For those of you that are here live, I'm just gonna take a look at the chat here. I don't see anything in the chat right now, so it's all good. I will announce the next live stream prior to it happening. This is a last minute thing, so that way there's more people that are here while the stream's happening, and we can have more of a discussion in the chat or a little bit of Q&A. Well, again, let me know about the gaming video down in the comments. If you like that, I'll put that together. Other than that, hope you all have a blessed evening, and I'll talk to you soon.